States are considering changes to child labor laws as they try to fill jobs.
Allows 14-year-olds to work 6-hour night shifts and allows 15-year-olds to work on assembly lines moving items up to 50 pounds.
Are working 12-hour shifts or more at factories, even though it violates child labor laws.
It also allows 16 and 17-year-olds to serve alcohol.
Maine and Michigan lowered the required age to serve alcohol. New Jersey raised the limit on the number of hours teens can work over the summer. Minnesota, a new bill would allow 16 and 17-year-olds to work construction jobs. In Iowa, proposed law would let 14 and 15-year-olds work certain jobs in meat packing plants.
For middle school kids, cleaning big machinery, sharp machinery, and using harsh chemicals.
And they're ending up in these horrible situations where they're on the hook for rent, for living expenses. A lot of them are in debt to the people that they're living with, and they have to go work the most punishing jobs in the country.
Welcome to Bro Taste This.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting episode of VYV, brought to you by Bro Taste This. It is I, you know that voice. It is Phill Golden Corral, joining live in person, back from rehab, well, and changed. Lovely Leo, and the big tech daddy himself, Luis Pablo.
Someday you'll just introduce me fine and just be like, yeah, Luis is here too. That's cool. Like,
it's honestly
you really
drag.
enunciate my name.
Thank you.
Really give it the beans, yeah.
And I do this in person too. Like when I go out with people, I'm like, "Oh, this is Caesar chicken salad." Bah, 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 bah. And like,
I would hate that.
We're at Buffalo Wild.
I've been with
so.
you in public a couple times, and dude, it's like so. Dude, it's an event. Like when you walk into a room, and Leo, I don't know if you can add to this with the past weekend. Like when Phill walks into a room, it's an event. Like people come up to him, like, and Phill loves it. He loves all the attention.
Now hold on.
And he's like, dude, we gotta get you on the podcast, dude. Yes, bro. I haven't seen you forever. You're my fucking brother, man. And then he'll just like tell people really personal things about his life, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable because I know Phill so well. But you know what? Amen. Dude, at the bachelor party, he was playing video podcast on Bro Taste This, and then Juan and I were like, why is this on the fucking TV? Like, why
we're like we're all like at the bachelor party getting ready to go out. All you see is like, all right, let's play some music, and all you see is Bro Taste This up on the screen.
And it was like the first few episodes we did in video, so they looked like shit. They looked horrible. And yeah, it's just on TV, and he's like, oh, isn't this like, it's us on TV? And one person thought it was really funny, and everybody else was like, what the fuck is this? Is this like some sort of high school project you guys worked on?
This is what you guys are. It's a little Make-A-Wish Foundation. Nice little. Damn. People are looking at us like, wow, you guys can really pull this together, huh? It's quite of a drag. I walk in with like the Justin Timberlake, I'm bringing sexy back energy, but like I'm wildly unaware of people's like, oh, this is what we're doing. I'm a narcissist, I guess. Is that a characteristic of a narcissist?
No, I'd for sure say you got narcissism. I think definitely not I don't think you're a sociopath, but I think you're definitely narcissistic and egotistical. And
well, it's hard not to be when you keep getting called Maui. You know, if the biggest like movie that took off from Disney got so popular.
But you also like play into it so big. Like when someone says something to you, even though it's an insult, you'll like double down on it. Like, oh, this fucking person thinks I look like a gorilla, and then you start like doing gorilla noises, and it's like
I started making I'm the silverback of this Taco Bell. I'm the silverback.
Speaking of Taco Bell, I just had a beefy 5-layer burrito, and it was not good.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a good time for a beefy 5-layer burrito.
No,
personally
dude,
speaking,
unless it's not very good.
Especially as far as like the base model for like Taco Bell food, that's like a for sure like churro, you know. Did I say that right? Diarrhea in Spanish is churro.
Yo, chorro.
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 El chorro. It sounds like Zorro, but like Like a shitty Zorro. El Shoro.
Where's Juan for the audio and video listeners, watchers?
Oh man, Juan is probably getting his suitcase ready, about to board the plane down to Casablanca, trying
That's
to save his marriage, Casablanca style. Has anyone seen that movie?
I haven't seen
Is
the
that the
movie.
one with the?
Just a scene when he's like getting on the plane.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I've seen about it too.
Yeah,
it's like black and white. He's like, "I love you. Come with me. Board this plane." Shay,
What?
like Casablanca.
I've never seen this movie.
Oh, it's like it's an old movie, like the 30s or something. Some like.
It came out in 1942. American romantic drama film.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on like top 100 films you have to watch before you pass away?
Oh, the
Is that
Casablanca.
what it is?
You know what? I think it's similar to how we were talking about the National Film Registry or like of America, movies that made an impact and whatnot. This has to be one of those impactful movies of that time period, similar to how like,
It is, dude.
Super Mario.
It is on.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, I saw Super Mario. I didn't get to talk about it because I wasn't in the podcast last week.
It was it phenomenal.
Dude, I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I thought it was sick as
Beaches,
hell.
beaches, 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 beaches. Oh,
You're gonna say something, Leo, before Phil interrupted.
I love that song. I haven't seen the movie. I just been listening to that song.
Let Leo talk, bro.
Oh, what
I was
Leo
just gonna say, yeah, I saw it too, and I was just about to mention, like, have you guys heard of the song? And before he even started singing,
Beaches,
And
beaches,
he immediately
beaches.
goes into it.
yeah, but it was a fun movie. Like,
Oh.
Yeah, what'd you think overall, Leo? Did you have fun? Did
Yeah,
it
like-
change the way you see cinema?
yeah, pretty much, just because, like, seeing Bowser, being scary at first, but no. And then like seeing Donkey Kong as Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was like, what? You didn't expect to see him like that. But overall, pretty fun. Like, it wasn't like a super great movie. It was just fun.
I hear it's like on track to be like the #1 animation movie for like a box office thing,
Yeah, I think so.
which is bonkers.
It's doing really, really well. It's definitely the highest grossing video game movie adaptation. And then, what was the thing I was about to say? Oh, it got trashed. The reviews were like horrible. It was like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it didn't do too hot on IMDb either. Let me double check the IMDb score. Just to confirm.
It's funny that you mentioned like the trashing that's it's being received because like John Leguizamo
terrible.
was like a famous like The Tick and like other movies and all this stuff. Mexican actor. It's
He was in the
criticized
movie
in
The
Mario
Menu, which
because he
we
played
talked about not
Luigi in
too
the
long
old
ago.
movie. He's like, oh, this
Yeah, I
movie
wanna
is
talk
like
about that
racist.
Yeah, it makes no freaking sense. So the movie's not doing too bad on IMDb. It's got a 7.4, but back to John Leguizamo. Dude, what is he talking about? Like, he was saying, like, I'm not going to see it because they're not honoring Mexicans or something. It's like, you're aware these are Italian plumbers, right?
From Brooklyn.
Yeah. Like, it made no sense what he was talking shit about.
Like,
Deep from the concrete
boycott.
jungle.
it's one of those movies where it's like it's hard to make just because like even the video games don't really have a story. It's just like you're randomly just jumping around, getting mushrooms, jumping on turtles. Like, all right.
Dancing on
he said they could have
flagpoles.
included he said they could have included a Latin character when Princess Peach was voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy, who is from Argentina. So
Yeah, but she's like, the same way that Elon Musk is African. People are like, oh, I mean, yeah, she's from Argentina, but is she really?
Or like how
I mean, she
Hitler was
lived
also
there,
from
no?
Argentina, but is he really?
Is he really? I mean,
fair
I
enough.
don't stand with John Leguizamo. I think this isn't the first time he's done this. Of like, they're whitewashing Hollywood and what have you. He got upset with James Franco. over
Meanwhile,
Zapata.
half the characters are like mushrooms and monkeys. Where do you want them to throw the Mexican in there?
Yeah, which one do you want to be Latin American in that one?
They even included a compa Mario.
Compa Mario.
Have you guys
He's
seen
got
those
the-
memes? It's like Toad as soon
No.
as he sees Mario and then plays that part of the song with like con el compa Mario que nunca me.
what? Is this like a thing that happened on TikTok?
Dude,
or
it's like
something?
all over Instagram, like TikTok. It's just like Toad will be like, Toad, as soon as he sees Mario, he's like, con el compa.
Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The scene where he pulls up in his like giant truck, and he starts playing El Gordo que me trae el mando.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, dude, that slaps, boy.
Dude, Toad's a ride or die. That's why.
What's up, cutie? Come here, come here.
Yeah, the cool thing about the movie, I heard they incorporated the Mario Kart and Super Smash Brawl and like different like aspects of the game into it.
they did.
Yeah, they did a really pretty good homage of most of the Mario like themes. Because if you think about Mario, what is it like? Mario Sports, Kart, the platformer, and the Smash Brothers. And so yeah, when he meets Donkey Kong, it's not a like spoiler, but like they showed in the trailer, they like fight a little bit. There's obviously the scene on Rainbow Road. There's the whole trying to save Peach from Bowser. They have like 2D platforming scenes. So it's not going to change the way you like think about movies, but it's definitely a fun movie if you like have played any of the games.
Definitely recommended. 5 out of 5, bros. Though, is that what you're saying?
For sure. I was like super happy watching it. Leah, what about you? What do you give it out of 5?
Just a good date.
Yeah,
movie?
it's just a fun, silly movie. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I would definitely probably like rate it like a 5 out of 5 too. Just because like I said, if you grew up playing any of the Mario games, you'll be like something like. Because I remember I used to personally play a lot of the Mario Soccer, Mario Baseball, Mario Kart, and then seeing like kind of like the different places where they go to like the different kingdoms. Like, oh yeah, I remember that from that game and how it looked like in the game. Because I wasn't really like around for like a lot of the platformers, but I definitely played the Mario sports games. And like seeing them now, like just like their kingdom, I was like, oh shoot, that's cool.
Oh yeah, even in the beginning of the movie, I guess Mario's like playing a video game, which is like the homage to the original Mario, Jumpman or some bullshit like that. He's playing like old.
Yeah, they had the
NES
voice
game.
of the original Nintendo 64. Like the guy who does Mario, I forget his name, but he made a pretty like brief appearance as like Jumpman in the movie.
It's like John Carpiero or some bullshit like that. Some
Let's
weird
look it
Italian movie name. I mean,
have you guys seen the movie The Whale?
with Brendan Fraser? No, but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I haven't
that's a
seen that
movie
either.
that I watched. I think like not too long ago, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And goddamn, Charles Martinet is the original voice of the iconic Wahoo Mario.
Damn, he built an empire off of that. But
Exactly.
to piggyback off that whale, the whale also received criticism too, of like and not much criticism, but like backlash, because Brendan Fraser won an award for like best actor or something like that, and then Dove had a campaign of like, we don't support this because this is a bad image on fat people. How there's not a 600-pound actor that should have portrayed that, and then people are arguing like, oh, you can't be 600 pounds and be alive. Most of the like 80% of the contestants on 600 my 600-pound life die because your body can handle that. So, yeah, I don't know. Where do you guys stand? Do you think Brendan Fraser should have hired a real fat person for this, or
I didn't hear any of that. All I heard was that the whale was pretty sad, and I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. No, I didn't hear any of the controversies and stuff.
I'm always looking for trouble. Yeah, it's pretty sad though. It's like about a father that is fat and eats his life away, and his daughter's trying to like recollect, but she hates the sight of his fat father and all that stuff. He's like,
yeah, because I've seen like the trailers out. He's like supposedly like a teacher, and he's like locked in, but no, I haven't actually seen the movie, so I can't really say too much about it. But it did win an Oscar.
And I'm as far as like all the backlash and all that stuff, me being a person of weight, a person of heft, a POH.
You can say it right. You can say it just because you're a person of heft.
POH, person of heft. I'm happy for Brendan Fraser because I remember years ago there was a meme of like the sad Brendan Fraser. He'd be like, he had a small part in like a little TV show on like Showtime in like maybe 2014. They interviewed him because like, this is Brendan Fraser, this is the Mummy, this is a big time movie star that got blacklisted from Hollywood. Now he's coming back, and they're interviewing him. It was like, are you excited about this new show you're in? It's like, well, yeah, I'm really only in it for like maybe a couple, maybe 7 minutes and all this stuff. And they just kept like hammering him, like, so what have you been up to and all this stuff, and like, you're happy for this? It's like, it's just like, I don't know. It was really sad sight to see.
There was a point in his life where he just looked really sad all the time.
Yeah, that was like the meme of the sad Brendan Fraser. And now here he is. This is a tale of a swan
Making a comeback, especially because he was in a lot of movies, like George of the Jungle.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about George of the Jungle.
Like,
1 and 2.
He dominated like the action adventures of like the early 2000s.
Bro, George of the Jungle lost in New York?
Dude.
Bro. I'm happy to Brendan Fraser. And this is the perfect transition into today's wine, which is the Ridge Three Valleys, Soma County, 2019. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a little bit of everything. 7% Zinfandel, 30% PT Sara, 10% Carnage, and 14.5% alcoholic for this wine. Now, Leo, as a wine guy, what do you think of this? It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It definitely has like that, like darker flavors, kind of like earthy, more like not blueberries, like raspberries and like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like that berry, like uplifting, juicy, kind of like, exotic. It's California, and the one thing I learned over this year of doing this, bro tasting things and whatnot, that a lot of the wines that come from California is different from like Italian wines and France wines, but mostly because of the health regulations that like Italy and like France and like Spain have on their type of wines and what chemicals can go into it and shit like that. California, it's the wild west out there. You can put anything, any kind of chemicals in there to like add fruit and flavor, and it takes away from the authenticity. Did I say that right?
Authenticity.
Authenticity of this wine.
There's a whole movement going on about drinking more organic wine.
Really?
Like,
nice.
Don't be drinking wine with a bunch of additives. Like, make sure it says all organic produced. And turns out organic wine probably tastes like shit because it doesn't get as like siphoned and filtered. Like, it's gonna have some more earthy notes to it. And yeah, I've seen just a giant movement on the socials and online about like, make sure your wine is free of additives and sugar. Otherwise, that's why it gives you such a terrible hangover the next day. And that's why like you don't feel so well and you get really drunk quickly.
Oh yeah. Kind of like it's doing its job,
It's like, yeah, oh no, like I don't want to be drunk.
Poisoning. Oh no, the wine is whining.
The wine is whining.
But I took did some research on the wine that you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a guess, I don't know if you have it on the bottle in front of you, but on 100 points, how high this one is rated? What would you say?
Just by taste and by nowhere on the bottle, it's got to be 81 points out of 100.
What's that?
81.
Okay. Leo, your guess?
Yeah, I'd probably say like just because it's like not like that different. It's just a very like normal, not like bland, but like normal tasting wine. It's not like a wine where you drink it and you realize like, oh, what is this? It's more just like a good red wine. Or probably just like an 85.
Absolutely.
A wine that's easy to go down.
Yeah, it's not like because there's some wines where you try. There's definitely something different about them. This one's not like that. It's more just like a red, nice wine.
Mm-hmm.
On the Wine Spectator, it has 93 points.
Híjole, 93 points?
On the Connoisseur's Guide, 91, and on the Wine Enthusiast, 90 points. So all rated 10 points higher than the both of you just said.
Wow.
Across a couple of different reputable sites. So, wow, shout out to Ridge Vineyards and
keep adding those additives. Whatever you add, keep adding to it, man.
Exactly. Speaking of maybe failing to meet expectation, this is an article from Bon Appetit about crumble cookies. Gentlemen, have you had crumble cookies in the past 90 days?
No, I think the only cookie thing I've seen was when I went up Milwaukee with Juan. for my little birthday thing in Buck District when I got Buck Wild, and they had insomniac cookies, but that's about it.
Yeah, those are similar. Those are similar. Leo, what about you? Have you had a chance
I have
to try
not had
Crumble
them. I
Cookie?
hear a lot about them. Everyone likes them, but you have to look up the flavors because if they don't have the flavor you like, they're just not gonna make them.
Oh, really?
Right.
Damn, I didn't even know they had
so
different flavors of cookies.
It like
They have
changes
different
daily.
flavors every week.
Or weekly? Is it weekly? Yeah.
Weekly, yeah. So I live very close to 2 Crumble Cookie shops, so I've had a lot of Crumble Cookies, which is probably why I've gained 10 pounds in the last couple of months.
It's bulking
and each
season, man. You gotta
No,
bulk.
I took it a little far.
You've gone beyond the bulk.
I bulked into my bulking season. And so, for you guys who haven't had the chance to try it as many times, what would do you guys think, like, overall the perception is that people like the cookies?
Yeah, everyone always talks about them. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to get Crumble. Like, I'm gonna get a 6 or a dozen of like a certain flavor because that's the only week they have it."
Right. Okay.
And
So
they're open late, aren't they?
Please.
Neither.
not too late, but the big thing is that they're available on like DoorDash, so it's very quick. I mean, most things are up here, but it's very quick to get them and very easy to get them. But the big thing is, like, they're probably like 4 to 5 inches in diameter, so they're pretty big, and they're probably like a good like third of an inch like thick. So the whole point of them and the whole like thing that entices people is that the inside is still a little bit gooey. So they're very, very soft. The whole point is like they crumble, like that's the point. But they started getting extremely popular on social media over the last couple of years. Number one, because of their cool TikToks and reels and short videos, and also the way that they look. Like most cookies, you get them from the grocery store. They're cooked all the way through. They're thin. They're crunchy. And then you got to get like specifically like, mom style cookies that are softer, but they're still small. And so this Bon Appetit article states that, dear Lord, Crumble is supposedly America's fastest growing desert shop. And essentially just goes into talking about how much it's not that good and how it's extremely overhyped. And as they state here in this headline, but the cookies, as they turn out, often do not deliver on taste. And as someone who has tasted many of the flavors, I can completely agree that out of maybe 10 of the flavors I've had, I think 1 or 2 were actually really, really good. And the rest were, okay, not worth the money.
When did you start working for Bon Appetit? Now it sounds like you're part of this hit piece against Crumble.
Oh, dude, I wish I worked for them. I tried awesome food. And also, the company faces some legal controversies. This will kind of go into some of the things that you wanted to talk about today, Phill. So the momentum it created on social media can't be derailed by negative press. As the article states, the goodwill around the company was stress tested when allegations of child labor violations in 6 different states went public late last year. 11 of Crumble's locations faced fines of nearly $60,000 for allowing 46 underage employees to work more hours than legally available, or use machinery that they were not legally permitted to operate. So, number 1, their cookies are mid, and number 2, children are making them. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Judge, if I may I allow me to play devil's advocate here? Now,
The Samoan can speak.
the legal Samoan. Counselor, you have the floor. If we're going to
Go
allow
ahead.
children to work barbaric hours, such in the 9 to 5, what better place to have them be employed than a cookie place, as opposed to a meat planting factory, or as opposed to the vineyards of California? I would rather have my child, my beautiful 13-year-old daughter, work in the lines of the cookie factory that is Crumble. I mean, the benefits, let's take a look at this. Discount on cookies. Not just any cookies, but Crumble cookies. And in this economy, you can get, you need everything you can get. So that means you're sending out your 13-year-old boy to the Crumble factory. That's what it is, man. It's not my fault. If Best Buy was around, I would say go to Best Buy instead of some cookie factory, but they took that away from us.
So you're saying that it is completely, number one, legal, and number two, okay that they're doing this?
If I would rather have them than doing this than dealing smack on the streets. So if this is gonna keep
Why are those the only two options? Why not wait till you're 16 to get a legal job and then go from there? Why does it have to be selling smack on the streets or selling crumble cookies? Seem like very opposite sides of the working spectrum, I might say.
Opposite sides, but they're in the same business, and that is drugs. There's no better drug than a high of a crumble cookie. The nice.
Gotta agree with you there, buddy.
Nice gooey softness in the middle.
Oh, gotta agree with you there, buddy.
And if it's cooked the right way, you don't even gotta eat it. Just put that in a syringe. Bam. Which I'm not recommending kids to do. I'm saying go work the factories. Don't do heroin.
Is that your final statement, closing statement?
I think it's horrendous that kids are working, but if they're going to be working, I would rather have them work at a cookie factory. So
I was hoping you could go into your news article about how they're letting kids under the age of 16 work behind a bar.
Oh,
instead you did some fucking weird dealing smack reference for some reason.
My apologies.
I teed it up perfectly for you. I was like, speaking of kids who work underage.
I'm sorry. My head's all over the place. This kind of relates to the kid thing, but I've been getting back into the dating game, right? And I made a.
Where is this going?
Hold on. It's a very short little thing here. I've been getting back to the dating game here, and I've been talking to this lady. Hello.
It's not my fault she was 17.
No, wait, that's not where I'm going with this. Wait, no.
Dude, but you're a monster.
No,
God.
wait, hold on. I've been
lock him up.
Oh my God. I just realized what that, yeah. No, I'm not talking to a 16 or 17-year-old. But what I am saying is that I've been out of the game for so long that I've missed a lot of cues, I guess. And I was, this kind of relates to, kitchen stuff. But we started talking, intimate, getting hot and nasty over the phone. And she was telling me some things about the past. And the thing that really got me going.
Where is this going? I was trying to have you talk about the whole Idaho thing.
You just started talking to her. You're going to expose all her information on the podcast.
That
has been growing.
What the hell is wrong
That
with
has been
you?
seen by more than 200 people.
And then go into the whole Iowa senator thing.
Luis, thank you for bringing that up, of kids being underage and me not being a pedophile.
No, you don't have to say that.
You don't have to say that, dude.
Now it's going to sound weird because if you cut the last part out, they're going to be like, why would he say that?
Why would he have... we'd hope he's not a pedophile.
Well,
yeah, real quick, I want to
out.
share this. I definitely want to share this. We're going to cut this whole thing out anyway. As I'm on Google Maps, and I'm like, oh, like it's right around the corner. And then A-Rod, my fiance, was like, oh, he lives really close to a school. And I was like, oh, I'm surprised they let him live so close to a school given his history. And she was like, what the fuck do you mean? Whose house are we going to? And the only reason I said that is because if you say anything followed by giving their history, it just gaslights them so well. Like, if you're like, I'm surprised they let you drink wine given your history. Because then everybody else is like, what do you mean by that?
Do we have a problem on our
But
hands?
whenever someone lives close to a school, doesn't matter what age group, just gaslighting them about it is the funniest thing you could do. Just wow, I'm surprised
what if you do it to enough people though, and eventually someone's gonna be like, nah, they never caught me for that.
Nah, dude, they didn't perform a background check this time.
It's like I got away with it this time.
No, that was just a misunderstanding.
You walk in, he's got a whole camera pointing right at the school, and then you're gonna feel really weird, huh?
Yeah.
Jeremy, not again.
Crazy.
No, Jeremy, stop.
I heard a crazy story where, because if you join a 24-hour gym, they do a background check, obviously, because they need to make sure some monster isn't in there in the weeping hours.
Wait, do they really?
Yeah, or they should. They
Well,
should
yeah,
at
I was
least.
gonna say that anytime here in town, like you just show them your ID and then pay them $40 a month and you're set.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I worked at a Planet.
Actually, you know what? Not even your ID. I was still like under 18 when I signed
In
up.
high school?
So yeah, so they don't even need your ID. You just need like $40 a month and like a waiver.
Dog, if what you're saying is true, then I'm a monster. Because I worked at Platinum Fitness third shift, and I let so many, like, no background checks, come in here, $10 a month, give me your bank information, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I
if that's the
didn't
case,
get
then
checked for anything. It's like, here you go, you're good to go.
Yeah.
You got your $10 in.
It's like, are you sure you can financially afford $10 a month? Get in here, you lunatic.
You
Get in,
rascal.
you're in.
Go better your life.
Oh man, that makes me feel very unsafe because I go to a Planet Fitness.
Oh no!
Knowing some Phill is in the back in the
Letting
desk.
everyone in, like, yeah, get in here.
Fucking come in. You know, I'll spot your $10. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll be here tomorrow. Get me next time.
Damn. It's I didn't know they had to do background checks. I'm genuinely
Okay.
surprised.
So going around, beating around the bush there. So they did like somebody was like harassing an employee and not being a cool dude, being a real jerk, you know, and they legally were able to do a background check because that's something that I don't know if they have to do it. Going back to what both of you were saying, but they are allowed to, and it turns out this dude had done some not cool things to some not age appropriate females, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go from the gym, like you're no longer welcome here. If you are trespassing into the gym, you are considered trespassing onto private property, therefore we can call the cops. And given your history with your probation and everything, I don't think that's something you would want. And he like blew up on the gym owner, was like, you fucking motherfucker, like you're not allowed to fucking do that, piece of shit, like that's my private background and I'm just here to work out, it's not my fault she thinks I was hitting on her, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah man, like I understand what you're saying, but we just took legal action and this is it. And he's like, you fucking asshole, like I'll fucking go back there if I want to. And yeah man,
It's my
not
constitutional
cool.
right
Not a
to
cool
harass your employee. You fucking bitch.
Yeah man, interesting stuff, huh?
Damn, it's tough because, like, as a man of the people, I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, man? You did it without his consent to background check him? But then you look at the whole picture, you're
Well,
like,
when you sign
wait
the
a
waiver,
minute.
you're allowed
Why
to.
are you background checking him? What's on his record?
Yeah, because he was being not cool and like had made some inappropriate statements. So they're like, well, we can't just like kick him out for that reason, you know? Like, is he an actual jerk or is he just like being a piece of shit to this one person? And so that's when they did a background check to see like, does this guy has a history of this thing? Like, because he's not like the most friendly guy. And so of course, then they were like, yeah, you're not allowed here.
Honestly, man, if I knew I had this, like, power, I would have denied so many people from, like, joining Planet Fitness. Like, honestly, man, you're a pedophile. I don't even have to type your name in the computer. I can just tell by judging you. You're gone, sir.
There's a lot of websites that give you just open information on people if they have like a high enough felony.
Well, I mean, you don't even need
Because legally, it's
research like that. You can just go by your gut.
go your gut feeling. This guy kind of.
It's like,
I don't like your facial hair.
You're a pedophile, sir. I'm a what?
Son of a bitch! How'd you know? You're not allowed to do that. It's my legal right. All right,
Dude,
I don't know if you want to cut any of that out, or if you want to keep any of it.
I'm probably gonna keep most of that in, even the part where
All right.
embarrass myself with the girl. But that is a funny, like, circus trick to think about. Like, introducing the magnificent, wonderful, genius Phill Corral, and my special ability is like look around. You, domestic battery, 2009. Am I right, sir?
Oh my god!
I'm a mentalist.
But only for horrible crimes.
Yeah. There's someone in the audience performing adultery as we speak. Miss Jones with a neighbor.
Wife.
Now, if you look in her phone, you will see a picture of her recent lover. Oh my God! How did he know?
You committed arson in 2016. You were at January 6th riot. Hey, it's Kyle Rittenhouse. Can I get your autograph?
It's like you killed 3 kids in a drunk driving accident, and you're still wanted. It's like, they shine the light on him.
It's like, oh shit, gotta get out of here.
Damn, man, I just came out here to take my underage girlfriend for a show. Oh, no.
That is wild. Do you want to talk about the underage kids working?
This is the best segue with like the whole like being a mentalist and being told like, oh, this person's this and that. That's what we're gonna have to do now to like look at like servers. You know, have you guys ever hit on a server? Have you guys ever like hit on the help?
Hit on a server like that is serving me?
Yeah.
No, I
never asked for like a phone number or anything.
I started serving at 18, so I was very quickly aware that they're doing their job, and it's their job to be nice.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that message. I've been in the industry for quite a bit.
Resonate with you? No one pulled you aside and was like, they're just doing their job. They don't actually want to sleep with you.
Oh, no, it's the opposite. They're encouraging me. Like, she's a one, man. Go get her.
Those are bad friends. Those are not allies.
Those friends are Juan. That was one.
Those are not. Those members are not. Hey man, point taken. I know Juan quite well, and he is someone that's like, nah, dude, you can do a front flip into the pool from the roof.
Oh yeah. It's all about
I'll
willpower.
Watch you. Give me your phone. I'll record it.
It's a willpower, Phill. You got to believe in it. I've
Phill,
mistakenly I've done that though. I went to Hooters. Well, I've told this story multiple times. All you can eat wings on Mondays and all that stuff. And I would propose to the waitress. I would get on my knee and be like, "Would you be my Hooter girl?" It was very cringe. Very 14-year-old.
Leo, did you ever do that? Or you seem more intelligent than.
The only story I have about Hooters is like, you know, like any other like 16, 17-year-old does. We all went for like a birthday party, but you know, we're a bunch of broke teens. So we're trying to get those specials. She sees that we're ordering the cheapest things, and at the end she offers like, "Oh, do you guys want calendars?" And like one of my friends was dumbass, like, "Yeah, I want a calendar." They charge him $30 for that thing. We're over here trying to scrap money together. Dude, we're trying to scrap money together. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, dude, I don't think we have enough money. So we ended up leaving like a $2 tip at the end, and then just ran out just because because they signed the calendar and everything. They went around to every waitress to sign that calendar. It's like, oh, we can't just say no now. It was like a $30 calendar. And we all just left. It's like, because we all said no. We're like, nah, we don't want a calendar. Like, at first we thought it was like free because they're like, oh, you guys want a calendar? Like, you know what? Nah, we don't need that many calendars. One of them was like, yeah, we'll take a calendar. They signed it. They they left a little message on like every page. It was like $29.99 on the bill.
Jeez.
The food was $29.99. Like everything we got to eat. So
congratulations, you're eating.
Dude,
Miss
what
March.
a smart server though. Shout out for her for getting her bread, because she's like, oh, once it comes up like on the bill, she's just gonna like comp it or something, and then she's just gonna like bag. She's like, I know that these kids are not gonna leave me a good tip, so how do I do it? She's like, well, I pretend to sell them a calendar, and that's like 100% revenue.
Yeah, she probably just pocketed the money.
Yeah, I just took the money.
100%. Yeah, she's like, oh, now I just made $30 instead of $5.
I made $32 today.
Anyway, I missed that Janesville Hooters, right?
Shout out! Oh yeah, that and gone.
There's a Hooters like 5 minutes from me.
That you don't know about, right? You just heard about it.
Oh yeah. I heard that there. When I was getting Dave's Hot Chicken, somebody had told me like, oh, across the street.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You know, if you're in a committed relationship, don't go there. Bad place to eat.
No, terrible place. Terrible service. Terrible. Yeah.
And you know what? That is what Iowa said about their current workforce. And they have changed and passed a new law where they have allowed as young as 14 to 16-year-olds work in establishments like bar and taverns and any establishments that serve alcohol in it. And there's been a lot of feedback from like Democrats because the Republican lawmakers in Iowa passed a bill. And the Democrat, I forget what his name is. Like he's just this old guy, maybe Jim Barker or something like that. He was asking the Republicans questions like, do you understand what the implications of this bill you guys passed this morning means now? And then he went on a story about like his niece is 19, and like she works in like in a restaurant business, and she already gets hit on by like older dudes, right? When she's 19, she has to go through that as a young lady through all of her, woman life, just being harassed by these unsavory characters at her place of establishment. In a couple of years, that's going to be me doing the hitting on. So, cheers to that. Well, I'm gonna have to cut that one probably. But
no, leave that one in. Leave that one. You really doubled down on that one. Yeah, on your point, I think all three of us have worked at different restaurants. And dude, I remember being like a server in my like 20s, and I mean I'm still in my 20s, not for long. And it's just seeing like older dudes like checking out like our 16 and 17-year-old like bus girls who are like in high school, and they look very, very young, and they're just like looking at them walk by, and I'm like, ooh, very. And like even just like another server, like it's just like, don't be a dog, man. Like someone's just being nice, like doing their job, trying to like make their bag and go home, and like don't harass the wait staff. And especially these kids are going to be 16, 17, like that is awful.
Oh yeah, some of them are going to be freshmen dealing with like, oh my God, I'm going to middle school and becoming a freshman in high school, and I'm also got this like regular customer telling me that my ass is growing in. Like it's going to be awful.
Yeah, it is not a good environment. I think overall, like working at a restaurant, you can make really good money and have a lot of fun, but at the same time, like it's not the best environment to work in, not necessarily because of the wait staff, but sometimes because of like the characters, especially at a bar when people are drinking, making dumb decisions and not being all the way there, being intoxicated.
I'm be honest though, I already thought that like a lot of kids could work at restaurants, because like I know like
no, but
a lot of like the bussers will be like 14 years old at like the restaurants where I work now.
Yeah, that is true, but this is more like they can hand-to-hand work with alcohol and serve like this beer establishments and like places that have like provocative like clothing, like in Hooters.
Oh yeah,
they can work.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those laws that I don't know if it's gonna change that much though, because like obviously not the industries yet, but like in restaurants with like alcohol, like yeah, you couldn't serve alcohol if you're under 18, but then all you did was go ask one of the 18-year-olds to like give it to their table, and then you just walk away. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like that. It's just one more step. It wasn't like one of those things where it's like, because like I said, like these restaurants, like a bunch of 14, 15-year-old kids that are working there, and all of a sudden like they couldn't bring alcohol to the customers when like a customer asked them, but like they just told one of the older servers, usually that was already over 18, they just brought it, but it wasn't like they weren't working there.
Yeah, they were essentially the middleman, but now with this law, they're gonna essentially be the bartenders and be like, "Hey, Toots, good work," kind of a thing. And like, I mean, has any of our girlfriends ever worked as a bartender? The Malaysian chick that I was seeing. What?
My fiance worked as a bartender for about a year or two. And yeah, she would get hit on all the time.
Yeah. The Malaysian chick I was saying, also same situation, but like when she was here in America, she worked at like this dinky like diving bar, and like this is the country dudes that would hit on her, Yeah. Oh, you're exotic,
I will say though, like, has like anybody ever worked with kids? Like, it's like one thing. Like, there's obviously like everyone's situation is different, and like some people really do need the money, but most of these kids like they don't need the money. Dude, like I remember like people always complain like, oh, they called off because they had to go to their prom. Well, obviously they didn't call off for their prom. Yeah. Dude, they're like 16 years old. And they're not going to give you a warning. They're just not going to show up. Be like, oh, I was at prom. What are you going to do? Fire them? Just then you have nobody to hire. It's like one of those things where like, their kids will call for anything. I remember when I was like 15, and then like I was like, oh, you got to work today? It's like, well, I'm already with my friends. Might as well call off. No. It's like, what am I going to do? Go homeless? I'll just go back to my parents. Have like $50 less that day, I guess. Like I had no bills to pay. It was just like one less video game. I can wait another day.
I can go this day without smelling like tater sauce.
Yeah, it's like
dude, that's crazy. I feel like I've called off more as an adult than I ever did as a teenager.
Really?
I was like, dude, I was so like money hungry when I was a teenager. I was like, dude, I need I want to
Dude,
buy.
when I was a
fucking-
teenager, like if it was a nice day, I would call off. I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna go to work on a day like this. It deserves to be enjoyed.
You don't even go outside. You're just playing Madden inside.
Here's like
Never really thought
a quick
about it.
story I had. So it was like the summer. I was still in high school, and then like middle of like the busy season at a restaurant I was working at, and all of a sudden it's like, I was like, oh, my shift starts at 3. All of a sudden I get a call from my friend. Anyway, so Kalahari does $20 tickets after 5, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
$20? I'm in.
I guess my work found out I wasn't going in when they saw pictures on my Snapchat of me in the hot tub. Like,
Oh, you no cold no show?
dude, but the thing is, like, literally everyone does it. We're like 16, 15. Like, we
That
don't have
is so funny.
responsibilities. Like, half the time people show up, it's like, oh, where are they? It's like, oh, they just didn't show up. And next day, it's like, oh, where were you? It's like, oh, I had to do this. It's like, these people don't like kids just don't care. But at the same time, you can't really get mad at them. They're irresponsible teenagers.
No.
What do you expect for them to all of a sudden
I
be
know.
responsible?
See, we say that now,
know.
but once we're all like in some
Yeah,
kind
we're
of
gonna be
management
mad at the
position-
kids like back in my day. It's
Yeah.
like, nah, I was the same way. I was like irresponsible as hell too.
I was worse.
We have a tabletop of 12 reserved at 6. We need him here. We're booked. Where is he?
man.
Where's Johnny?
Especially
Dude,
now,
yeah.
because like even here in Wisconsin, wasn't it recently like 14-year-olds can be bussers?
Yeah.
I remember.
The least irresponsible age, 14 years old.
It's like, oh, why don't they show up?
I
It's
mean,
like
the
because they're
most.
14, you really expect them to show up. You get lucky, you get a couple of shifts out of them.
Bro, it's impossible to get a straight answer from a 14-year-old. How's your
Yeah.
day going? Oh, it was good. It was raining cats. What?
Especially because as a 14-year-old, you're really gonna go up to your boss like, oh, I can't really make it tomorrow. It's like, no, you just don't show up and see what
No,
happens.
they don't go fuck.
Yeah, we had
They're
a
afraid to
school
make a phone
shooter
call.
on premises, so I had to call off. Kind of a thing. They're 14. They're going to be lying. Especially 14-year-olds these days.
Like that one kind of deflated the room.
No, I'm sure like there's like a lot of other works that they really shouldn't be doing. But like I feel like it's a weird age group because like I said, like a lot of people do
Yeah.
need the money, but a lot of these kids are so irresponsible. It's like, why are you even trying to hire kids? Honestly, like why are there so many laws like focusing on kids? It's like weird. Like you work with a kid and all of a sudden you realize like, dude, like there'll be the slightest inconvenience. They're just not coming in.
Or it's also like it's their first job, so they don't really know. Like, we've all talked about working at restaurants, and the teenagers are the ones that are like the least. Number one, they can lift the least, so they're a mess when it comes to carrying trays. And number two, they just don't even know how to approach a table. Like, if you're at a finer dining establishment, or even just like general talking to people, trying to have a conversation with an adult, they don't know what the fuck to say. How's it going?
It's
They're
like I don't
just,
know. I
like,
just got out of
shaking.
school.
Yeah, they don't.
He's
yeah,
like,
they
I
have
had
a
an
whole-
algebra test today.
It's like, oh, you still do that? Yeah, I mean, I'm in high school.
Yeah, those are the most scary ones, though. The teenagers are like the most composed and like cordial. Hello, sir. Can I pour you some water?
Why are those
Hello,
the
miss.
scariest?
Oh, because those are the ones that have been like broken down. Their spirit broken, and they're like, oh, I know the propers to go. They don't have personality. Like they're
Or
already
maybe
a
they've just
seasoned
been
worker.
raised correctly by adults. Maybe their parents just did a really good job of like, hey, make sure you're respectful to adults. Like, if you're gonna go to a job, make sure you're talking to people with your chest up and all that. But
No, see
yeah,
that's
'cause
why.
I feel like I was a pretty good busser for the most part. Like, I would talk to people. I would always get a little cash on the side, and how's it going, sir? And they're like, well, what's your name, Jose? You're like,
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
don't know. Maybe that's a special thing about me that like I
a lot of special things about you.
hey no, I don't know. You keep talking that way, the temperature in the kitchen's gonna.
We're gonna be
rise.
up till 3 in the morning.
That was beautiful, damn it. I
Dude.
don't know. I don't know.
Disgusting.
Like I don't know if you guys have been to like Walmart lately, but have you guys noticed how like everyone there is a kid?
Yeah.
Like everyone is underage. And I remember I worked at a Walmart for like about a month in the spring before I like switched jobs to another restaurant. And
you
then
can't get a
like
fucking straight answer out of them.
there was like a whole announcement like from when I started working, which was like in March, all the way to like the end of April. It was like, if you guys need prom off, let me know. But there was only 2 spots open to take off. Guess what happened that day? There was like 2 people working. Dude, they were all went to prom. It's like, And then like the manager's all mad. Like, what'd you expect? Like,
Yeah, for real. Especially when like, yeah, if you want that day off, just come to me. By the way, there's only 2 available spots that day.
and there's like 6 of them. It's like obviously they're all gonna get off.
It's like a Hunger Games thing. Like, oh yeah, it's seniority over the kids. Like what?
Yeah, that's for sure.
It'd be pretty funny
Yeah.
if some like old worker came up and was like, actually, I've been here since May. I would like to request that day off.
I have seniority. Do you guys are familiar with Hy-Vee, right? The grocery store.
Yeah. They're pretty big in the Midwest. They just got to open up in Janesville over here.
Yeah, so they're pretty like, I don't know, whatever you want to call them.
They're comparable to a Woodman's or Kroger kind of a thing.
Not really. They're like a step under, like good. What's that really? Whole Foods. They're like a step under Whole Foods in terms of how nice they are. Like they really carry a lot of like fresh organic stuff. They have like a ton of random stuff too. But we had to go pick up our groceries one day, and we go inside, and typically the way that they have it, it's like this is the grocery pickup. It's like the first week we moved to Madison.
Oh,
And
you're
so to
one of
pick up
those people
groceries-
that pre-order their groceries and shit?
Yeah, because we were, first of all, fuck you. I can do whatever the fuck I want. All right. I live in a country where I can order groceries and have some dumbass teenager go grab the softest tomato for some reason.
it's always the worst one.
They grab you 3 hard tomatoes that you can legally kill someone with, and then they get you one that seems to have been beaten up by the other 3 tomatoes, and is just like evaporates the moment you pick it up. You're like, what is this? Like, what am I doing with this? But yeah, I love picking up groceries. And we go inside to the main store, and we're like, we ask, I'm not kidding, 5 different people at 5 different departments. We have somebody at the cashier, hey, like, we're here to pick up our groceries. Like, is it in the back? Is it in the front? Is it like a designated? And she's like, I don't know. I'm just a cashier.
I just work here. I don't know.
Every single person responded the same way. Every single one. So we're like, did we even order at the right Hy-Vee? Is there more than one location in Madison? And that's what we started thinking. And we call the manager at the store. We go back to our car, and they're like, no. There should be a building that's separate from Hy-Vee where they house all the groceries there. So you'll have to go there to pick up your groceries.
Sounds like a headache. Wow.
So then we drive around the parking lot. Sure enough, we see like a little building off to the side. Looks like a small gas station, essentially. It's just like one small building with like a little roof under it. And so we pull up, and they're like, your name? There's just some kid with a bad fucking attitude. And we're like, Adriana. And they're like, go inside, come out. Just like, you want it in the trunk? Just like throws it in there, just fucking hauling this shit in there. Like,
his broccoli hair is moving to the side.
yeah, it's like, dude, what the fuck?
His Zoomer bullet hair.
You just can't get a straight answer out of these fucking kids. Like, had one person just cared enough to be like, no, it's out there. Like, you just have to go back from where you came from and like take a left. But they didn't even give.
So what we're saying is that instead of like passing child labor laws, they should just extend the retirement age. Get a bunch of old people, because at least they'll try hard. They may not be fast, but they'll at least try hard.
They'll have purpose.
Yeah, that thing everyone loves to do. Work even longer into your old age.
It's like, instead of 65, maybe 72. I've seen some 7-year-olds out there like running marathons.
I agree with Leo. It'll keep him young. The moment, what did Warren Buffett say? The moment I die is the moment I stop working.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think you're already there, Luis. It sounds like you're already having young kids pick up your groceries. What happened to the sport of grocery shopping?
It's the best.
It's a hunt. When you go in there, you're like, I need one thing of lactate milk. And you leave there with like $200 worth of groceries. Like, oh, this is on sale. This is on sale. This is ripe enough.
I feel like, number one, I don't enjoy like walking the aisles. Like, I've done that hundreds of thousands of times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know exactly what's in every aisle. Like, sometimes you just want to get in and get out. Sometimes it's like, let's just pick it up, fucking deal with it, and go home.
Plus,
go ahead.
I was going to say, plus you get like the little like surprise mystery if you run into somebody that you know. Or like some like coworker or like that same dude from that Walmart or that grocery store that's always there. It's
I
uplifting.
mean, that's never really that it really hasn't happened to me out here because I'm far away from a lot of the people I know. But there was one time where I was really high, and this is when I was like maybe 18 or 19, and I was in Walmart after work one day, so it's like 11 o'clock at night when they were still open late.
Oh, the good times.
Yep. I did run into somebody I know, and I was like, "Oh, dude, what's up? I haven't seen you since like high school soccer." I was like, "How was MSOE, which is the Milwaukee School of Engineering?" And they were like, "Oh man, yeah, actually, I dropped out." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, man." He goes, "Yeah, dude, I just couldn't deal with the stress." So then I said, "Oh,
that's not
dude,
my speed,
that's
man."
fine. That's fine, dude. Like, get back at it." He goes, "Yeah, man, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I got a job here to get my parents off my back, and I just don't know what I'm doing, dude."
God.
And I'm high as shit, paranoid, and I'm like, "Is he fucking with me? Like, is he? What is this? What's going on right now?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on, man. I didn't like school. I thought I liked math. I hate math. I thought I liked engineering. I fucking hated engineering. I just don't want to go to school anymore. Fuck all this shit, dude. I'm fucking tired at Walmart. I don't want to be here right now. I'm fucking working third shift." And I'm like, I just got a 12-pack of honey buns and nutter butters in my hand and Sprite in the other. I'm gonna go check out, but it's really nice seeing you, man. Take care. And I just left, and I told one of my friends, like, "Dude, I ran into this guy. Like, remember him? Like, I think he's kind of going through it." Like, I didn't know what to do or say, and sure enough, like a week later, I'm on my schedule of getting high after work and going to Walmart, and I run into him again. And I was like very skeptical to even like talk to him and approach him. But when you're high, you're like, "Oh, if I ignore him, they're gonna know I'm high."
Yeah.
So I walk up to him and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, how's it going? Running into you again."
And you always talk a little louder when you're high, right? You're probably yelling across the store.
"How's it going, young man? It is also well to see you." And
We gotta keep running in like this.
who knew that the guy who worked at Walmart would literally be working at Walmart, dude? Oh my god, dude. And he's like, "Hey, man, so I'm glad I ran into you again because after our last conversation, I decided to turn my life around.
Jesus.
And I enlisted into the army.
Oh,
so I'll be here for 2 more weeks, and then I start basic." And I was like, "Thank you for your service, young man. We appreciate your valor."
It's like, thank you.
Man, if you thought fucking technical school was stressful, wait until you get into the military, brother.
You're seeing your friends get blown apart by landmines. And, I don't know if you guys will make me feel better or worse about this. What about running into me made him want to turn his life around? Because I think I've thought about this a million times since that event, but I'm like, did he see me high and was like, "I don't want to end up like him, therefore I'm going to turn my life around"? Or did he see me not know I'm high and then was like, "Oh, dude, like, was in his own head, like, I don't want to be a loser, like, Louis saw me like this, I'm embarrassed"? Or like, I just don't know. I think about that all the time. Like, what about running into me was the final straw for him to be like, "No, this is it, dude. I'm turning my life around"?
Honestly, he probably didn't know you were high, and probably just remembered you as
I don't know, dude.
as the kid that like barked at girls or barked at other kids. And then he saw you compose he saw you compose so many years later, and was like, "Damn, this guy's fucking. I'm over here freaking out about my life. This guy has no care in the world. What the fuck?"
This guy's a piece of shit, and he's happy about it. He's very happy about it.
The only way that I'm gonna get there is by grit. I need to mold myself into a military guy.
I don't know. I think about that. I'm like, what about that incident was like the one that,
You're uplifted.
yeah. I'm like, I don't know, man. But I haven't seen or spoke or even heard about him since that event.
Oh no.
So I hope he's okay. I hope he made it back.
He's probably the ghost of Kiev. He's that guy who was in the fighter jet like a year ago. I was like,
Dude, I should look him up though. I should like Facebook him or something and be like, dude, are you still kicking? Are you still out there?
you still rocking it in the free world, brother?
Exactly.
That's always a hard thing to do, to like catch up with somebody and like have that hard moment of realization. Like, yeah, man, things aren't going well actually, especially like late at night at a Walmart.
Where one of you is high as shit and the other one is clearly hating his fucking life.
Yeah, things could be better. And like
Yeah,
to make it
things,
better, you're gonna get yelled up by like some 40-year-old sergeant. Move your feet fucking faster! What are you, flat-footed or retarded?
Oh my god, cut that out.
That's drill. That's a drill sergeant. That's not me. I don't have that in me.
Can't believe you would say something. like that.
Corporal
You're a
Phill does
monster.
though.
You should be locked away, dude. You're disgusting. You
I've
make
gone
me sick.
AWOL.
Yeah, you have. You fucking freak. But yeah, man. I mean, what do we think? Another fantastic episode of the podcast. We'll switch over to the Patreon.
Oh yeah, I like that. Another exhilarating, the Weezer episode of Vida
Yeah.
y Vino, brought to you by Bro Taste This. Go ahead and like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Stitcher, Podbean, RSS. We're in the Chinese market, Indian market. We're going to get in the Indonesian market very soon. We've talked to our lawyers. We're getting stronger. And we hope that you will be there for the journey. Part of the VYV journey. Thank you all. See you all next week.